Welcome, my darlings, to the Chamber of Dread, where shadows whisper and the veil between worlds grows thin. Tonight, I invite you to wander with me into a house where walls breathe. Doors do not lead where they should, and once you enter, you may never find your way out again. Shall we descend together?
The rain fell in sharp silver needles that night, striking the broken roof of an abandoned manor that crouched at the edge of Ashmore Hollow. Locals whispered it had been built over a fissure in the earth, a place where reality itself bent and shifted. Few dared to approach, but on this night, a wanderer named Elias sought refuge within its rotting walls. Elias pushed the creaking iron gates. The air grew heavy. Though the house had stood empty for decades, he swore he could hear faint laughter echoing from within. When he stepped inside, the foyer seemed endless. Dust drifted in violet shafts of moonlight, yet the doors ahead multiplied, one on each wall, then 2, then 5. They whispered his name. Each door led not to a room, but to another hallway. Some stretched longer than possible. Others curled like serpents, swallowing their own ends. Elias turned back only to find the door behind him gone, replaced by yet another corridor. His own footsteps echoed behind him, yet he was alone. Paintings stared from the walls. Their eyes gleamed wet and alive, shifting whenever Elias moved. One canvas showed the very hallway he stood in, except in the painting, a shadow walked just behind him. He spun around. Nothing, but the breath against his neck was ice cold.
A door cracked open. Inside, a nursery. A rocking horse swayed, though no wind touched it. In the corner sat a porcelain doll with violet glass eyes, its head turned toward Elias. And in a voice as brittle as breaking china, it whispered, "You shouldn't be here." Elias fled, slamming the door. But now the halls shifted faster. He burst into the dining room, where a feast still steamed on the long table, though the food was rotten, crawling with maggots. Candles burned with blue flame, dripping upward instead of down. At the head of the table sat a figure cloaked in black. It lifted its head, revealing Elias's own face, aged, hollow, and grinning. The figure rasped, "You've already stayed too long." Stumbling back, Elias tripped through another door, straight into the cellar. The steps twisted endlessly downward, deeper than the house should allow. The air pulsed like a heartbeat. Shadows leaned in, murmuring in voices that bled into one another. "One of us. One of us." At last he emerged into a vast chamber. The walls were not wood or stone, but shifting flesh, veined with glowing violet light. Doors lined the chamber, suspended in mid-air, each one opening and slamming on its own.
Elias realized then the house was not a house at all. It was a mouth, a passage between worlds, and he was already inside it. The doors flew open. Behind each, he glimpsed impossible places. A forest burning with black fire. A city where shadows walked instead of people. A sky boiling with screaming stars. One door showed the world outside, the normal world, but when Elias ran for it, his hand passed through like smoke. The house laughed. The sound came from every wall, every beam, every splintered floorboard. The sound shook him to his bones. The doll's voice returned, whispering from the dark, "No one leaves." The candles went out, the laughter ceased, and Ashmore Hollow's manor stood silent once more. But those who pass it on moonless nights claim to see a figure in the upstairs window, banging on the glass, screaming for release, forever trapped between rooms.
Ah, poor Elias. A lost soul wandering endless corridors, caught between worlds.
and watched by eyes that never blink. Tell me, dearest darklings, would you dare to open a door in such a house, or would you too be swallowed whole? Until next time, keep your candles burning and your fears close at hand, for the chamber of dread is never far away.